Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Paterson, and welcome back to the new video. I'm doing something a bit different today because why not? Let's be honest, I've always wanted to do a video like this where I'm showing like different logos and just giving my reaction to them. But get ready to be surprised and amazed because today we're going to be looking at the first logos of major corporations, like the top 25. The first one is Apple. Everyone knows the Apple logo. It's just like a generalized logo that's in everyone's head now because Apple's logo is design. It's supposed to speak about the simplicity and design of their products, and it is one of the best logos ever designed. That's in my personal opinion. Now, I've done a bit of research into Apple, and their first logo was incredibly complex, and let's have a look. It's hilarious. So here is Apple's first logo. You can see the tree. It's got Isaac Newton sitting under a tree with an apple about to fall on his head, with this really old style vintage banner of Apple Computer Company in a serif font. Oh my, how Apple has changed. I don't think there's any computer company that has done something like this before in the past. This is an incredibly cool look into their first logo design. Back then, they must have wanted to do something a bit more vintage because that is seriously a vintage design. Even the little text on the side here, it says, Newton, a mind forever, voyaging through strange seas of thought alone. I mean, that line drawing is really cool, but it ain't no simple logo, so I'm not even too sure as to how they came from that to this. I know they had like that rainbow one in the middle and they've done some little changes, but this one compared to that one, I mean, you zoom that out, you can't tell that looks like a logo, it looks like a painting. But it has always been something that's stuck in my mind. Everyone knows what Twitter is. It's that social networking site that people don't really go on anymore. Well, at least I don't, even though you guys still follow me on there. So Twitter's logo is completely different as well. Their first logo is this. It's this green, slimy, not sure what it is. I mean, it looks tasty. I mean, but it's not like a social networking company logo. You can see that they got very corporate in their logo design after a while with the blue Twitter bird, but it did go in stages. It wasn't just from that logo, the green thing, all the way over to this bird. But how interesting is that? Looking at that logo is just really strange how they thought that would be a cool logo. Maybe it was for the time. Before we get into the next one, I just want to give a huge shout out to my sponsor, Squarespace. Whether you want a design blog, portfolio website, or a place just to have your little corner of the internet and sell your online resources, then Squarespace is the place for you. I use Squarespace to create my stunning website, and I've been using it for over 3 years now, and it's where people come and contact me for client commissions. I also have my portfolio and a blog on there, and you can go and check it out and read it, and I sell my online resources through there too. Click that link down below to get 10% off your first purchase and a few days for free to give it a try for yourself. Okay, we're on to the McDonald's logo, and there's quite a few. So I saw this image on Google and I thought I've got to talk about this one. Have you seen the first McDonald's logo? The first McDonald's logo is the barbecue, McDonald's famous barbecue one, and it is actually surprisingly functional for what it does. The serifs, everything had serifs back then. Then we have McDonald's famous hamburgers. I guess these are at the same time, but then we've got McDonald's coast to coast with this weird sticker, and it goes over, and this is where we get the golden arches, which it has a weird thing in the middle which I don't understand, but that's more recognizable. They moved from this yellow to an orange at one point, which is very strange. I'm not too sure why, but this is where the McDonald's logo type comes into play, and it works well. And you can see from this time and this time how the logo has changed minimally over the years to make it more functional for its viewers and customers. I don't know about you, but it is really strange looking at these old logos and seeing how McDonald's worked out, seeing how it came to be the McDonald's they have now. Okay, so the next one is Amazon, and Amazon's logo is known for its creativity, the fact of the arrow from A to Z and the smile within the design. Well, the first Amazon logo was even weirder, and it shows sort of like a river. It was this sort of building block or this sort of landscape view, and it was very minimal for the time. I mean, I've got to give them credit. The concept was there, but it's not the best, is it? I mean, look at it. It's weird. It's got these weird little things down here over to the right where it's just not fully nicely curved in there. I guess back then when companies are smaller, they have a smaller budget, so they don't hire good designers. Nowadays, they have to hire better designers, I guess. I mean, this logo here is fantastic. It's my favorite logo type right now, just for the functionality and the creativity and fun from it. Okay, the next one is Pepsi. We have the current Pepsi logo, which is this red and blue circle with a grin, so it looks like it's smiling. It's got a bit of a mischievous look in there. Really effective logo type because it works when it's in black and white and when it's not. I mean, it goes in every bottle. Everyone knows what the Pepsi logo is. Now let's take a look at their first logo. What is that? What is that? It looks like my first piece of hand lettering. I mean, it's so ornate. I mean, and it doesn't really make much sense. When you go into it and you start to see that bits of the typeface look like it's been image traced badly, then you start to wonder, how did they ever have that on their products? But again, all of these logos were at the start, and this is years ago, way before I was born. And you know, it's weird just to look at, and I'll just see this and look at the way that we have changed as a society and the way that design has become. Everything has become a bit more minimal. People don't want the artistic approach anymore. They just want the normal minimalistic approach to most company logos. So yeah, the Pepsi color one was a bit of a big surprise for me. Okay, on to the next one, which is Sony. Again, you might be surprised by this as well. Look at that. What is it? There's no stating the obvious. The new Sony logo is definitely a lot better. And it was designed in 1957, the new one. And this one was designed in 1955. No wonder they changed it between 2 years. I mean, the concept surprisingly looks a bit like the HP logo or the new one that they were going to use on some of the laptops. I mean, that is a vast difference right there. That is a huge difference. I mean, imagine seeing these logos on the actual products nowadays. It's insane. Anyway, there's not really much to talk about when I'm showing these, so let's go on to the next one. Microsoft. It's a huge company. I used to have a computer, still do use Microsoft, and it is ridiculous how much the logo has changed. But I didn't actually believe it at the start, but it's real. You've got this sort of crazy cool looking typeface up here for the Microsoft at the first one. It sort of moves down to this GFX Skrillex sort of look. And then we keep going and we start to see that it gets a bit more professional. And then this is the one that I was brought up with, basically, this Microsoft logo here. And it was only recently they redesigned it a few years ago. Here's another one of my favorites, Samsung. So we have the normal Samsung logo that we all know now. And I think it's the same one that we've had since 1993, which is doing pretty good. It's a timeless design. But when you go back to the first one and you look at it, I mean, obviously I can't read that, but how insane is that for a logo? I mean, 1937, it's not actually bad. I do actually like the design for then. I mean, you got Samsung here in 1969, 1980, and then 1993. I mean, it's crazy to look at, and the similarities. I mean, from 1969, they had it perfectly all the way up here. They went back to sort of 1969 look as well, which is very strange. The next one is Starbucks, and you all know the Starbucks logo and how it's changed over time and the differences between it. Well, this is the first one. It's got this sort of sea beast in it, and it's got boobies in it too, which is weird. Look at the kerning on that. You go over here and you've got the Starbucks logo over here, which is a bit more abstract, a bit nicer. And then we go down here to the new Starbucks logo, which is one of my favorite icon logo designs in the world. The logo has changed so much over the years, and look how much more functional it has become. The whole idea of what we do as designers and logo designers isn't just to make something that looks really cool, but it's to juggle these two things, like the aesthetics and the functionality of the design. Does it work when people see it? Do they recognize it? And even still, I think the Starbucks logo that we have is still pretty much like undrawable in a few seconds, but it works. It's one of those logos that we just know about because it's Starbucks. All right, and the last one for today is the Toyota logo. We're all familiar with the standard monogram for the Toyota, which has a T, a Y, an A, and probably something else inside of the design. It's a very clever design. It's one of the most clever icons you can get now. Works supremely well. But then we go back one. What the heck is that? I think that's a different language, but then you got over here the Toyota. I'm surprised at how good these all look anyway. I mean, it just looks different. It doesn't look bad. It's not like the rest of the other logos where they look bad. I mean, this one just looks a bit different. Comment down below with the logo that you saw that shocked you the most. It's one that you didn't know about. For me, it was the Twitter one. I just want to thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video. As I said earlier on in the video, you can go and get a free trial at Squarespace to design your website. You don't need to pay for it to design it. When you've done that and you want it to go live, you can get your domain, everything. You don't have to leave Squarespace. Everything is just on their website for you to start selling or creating or publicizing who you are. And if you're a designer nowadays and you need a portfolio that you can customize, add to easily and look professional without people just seeing Squarespace branding, then click that link down below and you'll get the 10% off. If you enjoyed this video, please press that big fat red subscribe button down below and turn on post notifications. I've also changed the tier system of my memberships. If you want to join and become a member of this channel, you get loads of perks. The best one probably being you're invited into a closed group Facebook for designers and creatives where you can get help in critiquing logos, get help in community aspects when it comes to your design business. It's only for people who are members of my YouTube channel. If you like the video, press that like button. If you dislike the video, click that dislike button twice, and I will catch you guys in the next video. See you soon. Goodbye.